everyone, thank you so much for joining me as we talk about what it means to stay concierge on Disney Cruise Line.
I'm Christina. I'm a traveler, a planner, and most importantly, a mom. I'm sharing my best tips to make traveling as a family a little less stressful. So put down your phone, pack your bags, and let's showcase the world.
I get asked a lot if it's worth it to stay concierge on Disney Cruise Line. So I'm going to talk about what you get when you stay concierge and kind of try to help you determine whether or not it's worth the expense for you. So let's start from the very beginning. You book your concierge level room. So this is a specific cabin type that you book. You don't add concierge to any cabin type. You have to book a specific cabin in order to get the service. You are offered pre-arrival services, you have embarkation extras, you have added amenities when you're on the cruise. So from beginning to end, from the day you book until the day you leave your cruise, you're getting an added level of service. Before you board, you have what they call pre-arrival services. Makes sense, right? And those services include being able to book everything before everyone else. So if you know anything about Disney Cruise Line, you know that depending on how many cruises you are, that's how far in advance you're able to book your excursions and adult dining and those kind of things. Well, if you're staying concierge, you get to book with the platinum. You get to book before everyone else. So if you want a cabana, if that is really, really important to you, in order to guarantee that you get a cabana, you want to consider staying concierge. That would be where it has a really good value because you're basically guaranteed to have a cabana if you book concierge. So 120 days prior to sailing, you can book your cabanas, you can book your excursions, you can book your spa appointments, your adult dining, and you can pre-register for the nursery and the kids club and do all of that before everyone else. The other added pre-arrival service is basically they'll book everything for you. So when that 120-day mark opens, you've been emailing back and forth, they know what you want and they'll go ahead and make all those reservations for you. It's very similar to having a travel advisor. So if this is what you're looking for in terms of concierge, is having someone help you plan, having someone make those reservations for you, then it's not worth the extra money to go concierge because you have a travel advisor and their services are free. No added cost, no added, it's not a premium price to use a travel advisor, but it's a nice added service if you are staying concierge. Then you get to embarkation. I'm going to talk about it like you're embarking from Port Canaveral because that's where most of Disney's cruises leave from. If it's in a different port, then your embarkation services may vary a little bit, but no matter where you're departing from, you always have priority boarding. You get to go on before everyone else, or you get to skip the line when you get there. You might not want to board first thing in the morning, you might want to get there a little bit later, so in that case you would just walk right past everyone and get on. If you do arrive early and it's not time to board the ship yet, then at Port Canaveral you have a special lounge where you can hang out, you meet characters, you kind of have a little fun morning before you get on the ship, and then you're led onto the ship first. Whereas most cabins, they're guaranteed to be ready by 3 o'clock. Your cabins are guaranteed to be ready by 12:30, so you get in a little bit earlier. You also have a private lunch reception with a welcome drink, so you get free alcohol. Disney Cruise Line does not offer alcohol packages, so if saving money on alcohol is important to you, then you get free beverages throughout the day. It's not unlimited, they're just only at special events, but that's something to consider if you plan on racking up a big bar bill. So you have your private lunch reception on embarkation day. You don't have to fight the crowds at the buffet. You don't have to try to get a seat in one of the restaurants. You have that private area and you just get to enjoy your lunch and start your vacation the right way, right? That lunch takes place in the Concierge Lounge, which is another benefit. The Concierge Lounge is only accessible by key card, so only people staying concierge can access it from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. There's snacks in there. There's, from what I hear, the best coffee machine in the world. I don't know if that's the case, but you definitely get the best coffee on the ship in the concierge lounge. So if you're a big coffee drinker and you don't want to drink just the regular standard coffee and you don't want to pay for your coffee drinks at the Cove Bar, then here's another place where it might add value for you. You have free Wi-Fi, which can get really expensive. You have free Wi-Fi in the lounge. You have those cocktail hours that I talked about. You have exclusive character meets, and you have a private sun deck with your own hot tub. So there's no fighting for a hot tub like on the main decks. You have your own little space for just concierge guests. So then you have your in-room amenities. Your concierge room is either going to be a concierge deluxe family ocean view with veranda, or it's going to be a suite. So I don't want to get into all of the specifications and room layouts and square footage and all of that, otherwise this video is going to be really long. So I'm going to put a link in the notes to a post I wrote about the different layouts and of the suites. In terms of the deluxe family ocean view, it's the same size and setup as the regular deluxe family ocean view. You just have these added amenities, including the pre-arrival, the embarkation, all of that. The decor is a little more subdued, a little more elevated. It's not the blues and reds. It's a little more muted with some creams and whites and turquoises. And then you have a fully stocked mini bar, and it's not stocked with alcohol like most mini bars, but you have your bottled waters and bottled sodas. So where those are normally an extra cost, or you're trucking up to the cabanas to refill your mugs, or every time you want a refill of water or soda, you have the bottles. They're no added cost. They're just there and they're in your room, and they restock them as you go through them. You have a double allotment of the free Wi-Fi, so you have whatever the allotment everyone gets, you get double that. You have upgraded linen, the Egyptian cotton with an insane thread count. You have Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. You have robes. You get to choose your pillows in advance. I think this is really cool. I like really soft, fluffy pillows. So you can either choose hypoallergenic or goose or whatever softness you want in your pillow. They'll ask you what you want and they'll have it ready for you. You have LMS products instead of H2O. This is a pretty exciting one. I wouldn't book it based on this, but as someone who uses LMS products and knows how much they cost, it's a nice little perk. You have room service. Everyone has free room service, but they're limited to the room service menu. You're able to order from any of the menus that night. So whatever that nightly menu is, you can just order it into your room. You also are able to have room service breakfast on disembarkation morning. No one else is able to do that. Room service stops the night before you leave the ship. Unless you're concierge, you can have breakfast in your room. You have priority tenders. I already talked about double allotted internet, so I'm going to move on to disembarkation now. So as I said, you can have your breakfast in your room with room service, or you can have it in the lounge. They have a nice little breakfast buffet. You can leave the ship whenever you want. You will be escorted off the ship. You will be escorted through customs, so you just kind of have a more streamlined experience there, and that's it. Then you leave your cruise. So those are all the added benefits to staying concierge. It is a huge decision to figure out if it's worth it for you or not. I kind of mentioned throughout the video different people who I think this would be good for. People who are going to spend a lot of money on coffee and alcohol, the people who are going to want to have their cabanas. Those are the people who are going to want to stay concierge. You have the option of booking, like I said, the Concierge Deluxe Family Ocean View with veranda, or one of the suites. Again, if you want to see those specifications and layouts, there's a link below to a post I wrote. I hope that this was helpful. If you want to talk a little bit more about the added cost and whether or not it makes sense to you, if it's a good value for you, I would love to chat with you about it. just shoot me an email. My email is Christina@showcasetheworld.com, and I'd be happy to help you plan your cruise. Thank you again so much for joining me, and I hope I inspired you to explore the world together.
Need help planning your next family vacation? Visit us at showcasetheworld.com to request a quote or schedule a free vacation consultation. Want more great travel tips? You'll find those there too.